Good morning. Oh no, Kite is spying on my stats? Are they interesting stats? Good morning, Kite. Good morning, Merlin. I am mostly here. Morning, Kitsune. My internet is also mostly here. We'll see if that continues. We had some hiccups during D&D yesterday. I mean, that works on Sundays at least. I'm managing a good 5 to 6 megabits. Okay, for now. Let's fingers crossed. We'll hope that holds. I mean, yesterday I wasn't having any trouble with Roll20. It was just Discord that was being a butt. And Discord's still kind of being a butt this morning. Like I'll switch to it, like I'll have the notification that there's an unread message in a channel. So I'll switch to that channel and it'll take it like a good 30 seconds to load in the messages. So I don't know if that's a Discord thing or an internet thing or a my computer thing. Honestly, it's probably all of the above. But we'll do what we can. Yeah, no, yesterday was fine. Yesterday was great. I'm more worried about next session, considering that it looks like the monk and the 2 warlocks are about to walk face first into a mimic, and they left the paladin and the cleric behind. I mean, the cleric can get over to you fairly quickly if he needs to. The paladin is never going to get to the combat in time. Bram's just screwed. Not that he's been super useful in combat so far, but he tries. He's trying hard. You can tank. How many hit points do you have, Kite? Although I think you have more than the warlocks do. You know, my poor centaur has not been having a great time in combat. Okay, 17 HP and 16 AC. That's actually not too bad. You might be okay. Bram's still gonna feel terrible that he wasn't there and couldn't get there, but you might hopefully be okay. Sweats. Yeah, Glint's out of spell slots. I think Bezleek is also out of spell slots, ? They might have one more left. Bram has another spell slot, but again, he's too far to be helpful. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I mean, that's true. But Sleep has had a really good track record so far, I'm just saying. Sleep and Rope have seemed to fix most of our problems so far. I don't know if this is teaching us correct lessons, but it is teaching us something. Oh, Bram would absolutely approve of tethering the tabaxi. Don't think he hasn't considered it a time or two traveling with Glint. Like, what if I just leash? He's actually quite happy that she likes to travel on his back because that way at least he knows where she is. And he will know immediately if her weight leaves his back, he needs to turn around and see what's going on. Also, what's for dinner tonight, Kitsune? Has a decision been reached? Ooh, duck is delicious. Enjoy that. Duck is very, very good. I'm trying to remember, I think we've cooked duck once ourselves. I think we just doused it in an orange sauce and kind of stuffed it in the oven for a while. And it turned out really nice. I say we, but it was Jade and Kara cooked a duck. I just consumed the duck. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Duck fillets just there. That's awesome. Duck is not, so because we have the chicken industry is so big in Canada, and also we have native turkeys, so there are turkey farms around. So most of the time our supermarkets just stock turkey and chicken, and duck is considered like an exotic. So it's a lot harder to find, and when you can find it, it's usually the entire duck. Oh, duck fillets sound awesome. Also, because it's considered an exotic, duck is usually super expensive around here, which is a pain. I think the one that we actually got because one of Jade's uncles shot it and didn't want to keep it himself, so he gave it to Jade. So we actually had like a really good wild hunted duck. Yes, okay. Make sure that's the right way around before I regret it. I don't often sew pieces back to front, but when I do, I cry about it. I've been so tired this week. I might take a nap after stream. Tears, you haven't had coffee yet? Okay, that's fair. I'll hold off. Honestly, I'm impressed to see you awake this early. Oh no, did one of the animals wake you up? Or are you just awake, TM? Oh no, that's no good. I hope that gets better soon. Coffee is good then. Well, coffee is always good in the mornings. Perhaps consider a tea or a juice for your health as well. Just from my experience dealing with Kara's headaches, half of them can be helped by making sure you're hydrated. It might not have caused the headache, but it's certainly not helping. Ooh, tacos for the baby. Tacos. I'll have you know that after all the taco talk that went on last week, we did in fact go get tacos a day or two later. Kara was like, do you want to go get tacos? Because I've been thinking about it ever since stream. And I'm like, alright, sure, let's go get tacos. Yeah, I mean, obviously the headache isn't ideal. But if you can say, oh, I've got a headache, I should probably self-care. That's better than saying, oh, I have a headache, I should not self-care. My stream was starting slightly late today because I woke up and went, I'm gonna shower before stream. Because I know myself, and if I had waited to shower after stream, A, I would feel gross, and B, I would be lazy and or get involved in other things and probably not shower after stream, and that would be even worse. Merlin, self-care. I will pull out the pot if Kitsune doesn't get to it first. I will be the mom friend if I have to be. Forever a gremlin. Merlin! Merlin, take your medications, drink a thing that's not coffee. You may also have coffee, but drink a thing that is not coffee. Merlin, please. You can still be gremlin and be a self-caring gremlin. Oh? Ooh, and Kitte's gonna share some pro strats with us on gremlin procedure. Oh, yeah. So our art channel, do you remember that picture of Serena and Sadhu that I linked to you, Merlin? It very much became a meme in Julie's community Discord, and the art channel just got taken over by people posting it over and over and over and over, and just being incredibly gremlin about it. It was fantastic. So yes, the correct procedure to be a gremlin is to post the art and cackle over it. Kite even turned it into a sticker for easier mass posting. That said, I do hope Julie's feeling better today. Seems like she's had a rough couple days. It absolutely counts. Cackling is universal regardless of fandom. So I did order more fabric for this blanket. I got the notification that it has shipped. It is just not here yet. Hopefully this week. And then I'll just have time to do, or I'll have to find time to do a bunch of cutting to get it all down into manageable pieces. Ooh, apple for baby. Yes, have carby self-care as well. Yay, water and food. Excellent. Thank you for allowing us to force you into self-care. That sure was a sentence. Sasha's not even here. Sasha hasn't been here all week, and yet I'm finding her fur. That's just how it is, though. The cat will never leave the house. She'll never, ever truly be gone. She will live on in every piece of fluff I've ever sewn into anything. She is fine, to be clear. She's just up at the cottage with Jade still. Apparently she has this week discovered the existence of chipmunks, and her life has been changed. So she's just been like crouched at the sliding glass door making please kitty chirpy sounds at the chipmunks running around. She would very much like to make their acquaintance. Come on, thread. Although, I mean, she is still Sasha. She apparently also decided to pee on Jade at like 4 in the morning one night. We don't know if she just like got anxious and wanted. We think that she just gets anxious and wants to make sure that Jade's alive, and that's the only way she can think to do it. I mean, to her credit, it wakes Jade up real fast. But also, Sasha, please. This is why we all sleep with our bedroom doors closed when we're at home. But unfortunately, at the cottage, Jade doesn't really have a choice except to have Sasha in the room with her. So, but is what it is. She's a cat. All cats are gonna have their quirks. I know, right? I wonder if maybe it's because she knows she's not very loud. So like she can't really yell. When she's at home, if she wants to wake Jade up, um, there's an Ethernet cord that goes underneath the gap in Jade's bedroom door. And so Sasha will go up to the door and she'll rattle the Ethernet cable back and forth because hardwood floor and hard door. So batting the Ethernet cable around makes like a really distinct rattling sound. And she's learned that doing that for long enough will wake Jade up. So at home, if the bedroom door is closed, that's usually what she does. I guess maybe she's just never learned to paw at us because she's always had the peeing problem, so we've always slept with our bedroom doors closed, so she's never really had the chance to learn that she can paw us awake. I don't know, man. Cat's weird. Well, that's disappointing. I think you can get pretty close though, because when you gain a few levels, you're gonna have quite a few bonuses on light. That cat is gonna have so much Neum. Okay, so you just need to just increase it by a few orders of magnitude. It'll be fine. I mean, to be fair, if you could get them up supersonic, we'd probably have to find or build some sort of a specialized armor to protect their fragile tabaxi body from the G-forces of going the speed of sound. Oh my god, can we accidentally invent jet planes? Tabaxi-powered jet planes. Or I guess they'd probably still be confined to the ground. So like one of those rocket sleds? Tabaxi-powered rocket sled? This will be fine. Totally fine. Good grief. How long can they keep that up for? Is that just like a single round? That's still ridiculous, you're right. Good grief. Oh man, now I'm thinking, what if you took a race that has higher base movement speed to begin with, like a centaur? Or I guess, do tabaxi have higher base speed? I don't remember. But I'm just imagining, what if you took like a centaur and gave them monk stuff? But I guess part of your Neum is the specifically like the feline agility and the specific tabaxi bonuses. So it would probably even out into roughly the same thing. But yeah, that's ridiculous. I love it. Okay, so Bram is in fact slightly faster. He's got a base speed of 40. But without all of the feline agility and other tabaxi bonuses, so. Man, I just realized we got Bram up that slope. Now we have to get him down that slope. He's gonna take more fall damage, isn't he? It's just gonna have to roll down. It's fine. Maybe he can like sled down on his shield. That's true, they do have contraptions. Just, hey, would you like me to stay forever? No? Well then maybe help me get down this slope. Now I'm wondering, like, even after we kill the Mimic, how do we convince the poor terrified king that it actually is dead? Because he keeps saying he's not going to come out till it's gone. But how do we convince him that it's actually gone? Just like drag a battered carpet up and thwomp it at the door? Oh no. Oh, Kitsune. Yeah, I'm real worried there's more than one Mimic. Because that could be a thing. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I probably should have been paying a little bit more attention to year half of investigations. Because one of the wine casks is straight up missing, right? So wouldn't the implication be that it was a wine cask, but it has now moved on? Either to or from the kitchen, based on the broken plate? Oh no, you think there is one still on our side? The gnomes poked everything, though. Unless there is one in the bedroom with the kings, but in which case, like, why haven't they been eaten yet? I don't think mimics are smart enough to be like, oh, yes, I'm going to hold the kings hostage and try to control the gnomes that way. Mwahaha. Like, my impression is that mimics are a lot more, like, instinctual and animalistic. I could be off on that. Oh my gosh. There's so much fur. It shows up so well on this yellow fabric. I'm gonna have to lint roller this to hell. Everything is fine. I'm gonna need more pieces. So. And like I mentioned, hey, I wonder if mimics are smart enough to like resist poking and not reveal themselves. And I never really got an answer for that because I don't think any of us in character would know. So maybe something that the gnomes have already poked is in fact a mimic, which is concerning. Everything will be fine, I'm sure. Totally fine. I am really happy that Randus is willing to expand the campaign beyond the original module, though. I was kind of hoping that would be the case. And now I'm seriously considering multi-classing Bram. I just have to decide when I want to do it. So my background for him, he's a paladin, but he's middle-ish aged and has been traveling for a long time. So Randus very rightly was like, okay, well, what's your backstory reason? Like, why is he only a level 1 paladin after, he's been traveling for so long? So his backstory is that he was, I suppose, a traveling performer. And so he would travel around, mostly doing like dramatic storytellings, percussion accompaniment to other bards, that sort of thing. But he was never like a capital B bard because he was never really combat trained or anything. He was just a traveler who liked collecting and sharing stories. And the more that he traveled, the more that he saw, crime and injustice and bad things that were happening. And the more he was thinking like, oh, I want to help. Like, I wish I could help, but I don't know how to help. And Bahamut in particular is a god that's known for like intervention and actually Bahamut in the like Forgotten Realms sort of Bahamut, not Final Fantasy Bahamut. Um, he's known for like actually interacting with the world more than some other gods. So one night while Bram was watching a group of Dragonborn being like harassed and robbed, Bram was having really, really strong thoughts of like, shit, like I want to help. I don't know how to help. How can I help? And Bahamut basically reached down and poked him and went, okay, I'll give you the power, so help. And that's how he became a paladin. So he's still very new at this. He's still a baby paladin and kind of figuring out what it means to be a paladin. So to multi-class him, I think I'm going to multi-class him back into Bard and have him sort of reconnect with his roots and his, because he still loves traveling and loves stories. Like that hasn't changed. And I think I only want to give him 2 levels in Bard, because that would give him the Jack of all trades proficiency bonuses, and it would give him access to the first set of bardic spells. I don't think I want to go too much further than that. I want to keep him pretty pure paladin, because I've never played a paladin before and I'm really enjoying it. But I do kind of want to give him that versatility of going back to his bardic roots and giving him, because that would give him a little bit more offensive variety in his spells too. And I've never seen a Bard Paladin cross before, and I think that would be really fun, and it makes perfect sense for his character. So I really think I'm going to go that route. I just have to decide when I want to take those 2 levels, because I want him to have enough Paladin under his belt that he's not like completely hamstringed by, you know, only being really low level in both classes for a while. I think I'll probably give him 5 or 6 levels in Paladin first, and then flip over and take the 2 in Bard. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, I think it'll be really, really interesting. I've like I said, I've never seen a Bard Paladin combination before, but I mean, even from like a gameplay mechanics point of view, it works really well because they're both charisma casters. So it's not even like I have to try to split my stats. I can just keep pouring everything into charisma. It'll be fine. He's not smart and he's super clumsy, but gosh, is he pretty. Gosh, is he charming. Have you considered multi-classing light at all, Kite, or are you just going to keep them pure monk all the way up? I mean, considering it's your first character, keeping it a pure class might be a little bit better just from learning how things function, but multi-classing's really fun, too. Ooh. Both of those would be really interesting. And yeah, both of those would work really well with Light's backstory, I think, just based on what I know of it. Neat. Druid Monk would be really fun. But then again, I'm biased because I really like playing Druids. I was actually contemplating having Bram be a Druid before I settled on Paladin. But, like I said, I've played Druids before and I've never played Paladin, so I decided to go the route of something new and different, and I'm really enjoying it. I like Paladin a lot. That's true, because you could just kind of... Now I'm dry. Oh! Hang on. Mental note for next time, since I'm going to be controlling Glint anyhow. I'm pretty sure that Prestidigitation will let you dry yourself off. And Glint has Prestidigitation as a cantrip. So, note to myself to have Glint remember that and to dry herself and light off. And also Bezleek. Anyone who's soaked. I'm not sure if Kara realized that or if she just completely forgot. But yeah, Glint totally has Prestidigitation. So now that you guys are back inside out of the direct spray of the waterfall, I'll try to remember to have Glint dry you all off. Because, like, I know it'll let you, like, remove dirt from your clothes. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't let you wring water out of fur instantaneously. Yeah, exactly. Unwet that cat! And luckily cantrips don't seem to trigger the wild magic surges, so it should be fine. Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, for Bram it's a little bit easier just because he has the bardic background already. So it would need a little bit less of a story trigger and more of just he's decided to experiment and see if he can mix in what he knows from his travels and talking with other bards to his paladin arts. Hey presto changeo, he's got a couple levels in bard. Especially since I'm only planning on 2. I won't need to choose a college or a specialization or anything. It's just, you know, just a little bit. A little bit of bard as a treat. Another fun fact, which I don't remember if I've mentioned or not, I was actually considering having Bram be a paladin of Eldath before I ran across the lore document for Bahamut. Because I was just kind of looking through the wiki at the different deity lists, and Eldath seemed like a pretty good fit up until I read about Bahamut, which was a perfect fit for what I wanted. Yeah, that's true.
Can't imagine. Yeah, that was the one thing. I imagine they'd be very, very like negotiation heavy. Eldath is the god that light worships, uh, and they're a. Let's see, I only kind of skimmed the article. Kite would probably know better. But they're very much like a pacifist. Um, all life is sacred. Um, protection of the innocent sort of god, which is why I was considering it for Bram. I imagine their paladins would be like very protection heavy and very uh okay, let's negotiate. They'd be more like armored arbitrators than they would traditional paladins. Peace can only come from within and cannot be taught or imposed. It must be ready through thought and meditation. Seek stillness and thereby find peace. Plant trees and green-leaved things and tend such things when they need it, wherever they may be. Instructed to nurture and aid and not to restrict or punish. They may defend but not punish. Work violence only to defend. Yeah, exactly. Which it'll be really interesting to see if anything we have to do along the way in the campaign forces Light to butt up against that. Character growth. Or at least forced self-reflection. Ooh. Monk up to 7 and then druid the rest of the way. Ooh, interesting. I can see that working really well. Light having... Oh! Light having some sort of a revelation re themselves and their relationship to their past and the world around them. Yeah, that could be really interesting if you decide to go that way. Oh crap, I need to actually read up on Paladin Oaths and figure out which one I'm going to take for Bram. Because I fully expect that after we finish up with the mimics and the gnomes, we'll probably be leveling up again. Which means level 3 in specializations. Woot! Healing boops, healing boops. Yeah, I think I briefly looked over the Paladin Oaths and hadn't actually chosen one yet, so I need to go back and actually do that. And figure out what I want to do with him.
think I got distracted looking at the bardic colleges for my other character, who is a bard. Bards are fun. I'm having a lot of fun with her. Oath of the Watchers. Yeah, I'll take a look at that one. I think there were a couple I was taking a look at. Despite Randus's baiting, I have no intention of taking him Oathbreaker. No, thank you. Oh yeah, I was looking at College of Swords. It is really interesting, and it does not fit Cherry at all. Oh, but yeah, that would be really cool for Gareth. I'm taking Cherry with College of Creation. So she's a devotee of the Song of Creation, which I think will be really interesting. Which means at higher levels she gets to like enchant objects and bring them to life. Or create things out of thin air. It'd be really fun. Come on, thread. There we go. You should. Because I think we're going to try to play this Thursday. See how Jade's feeling when she gets home, but I believe that is the intention. But also, we are a super chill group, so if you're still figuring things out night of, it's no big deal.
I'm gonna go with Kitsune on this because I actually don't know. Oh, hello. Good morning, Aussie morning. My day is going pretty well. I'm just kind of chilling and working on my patchwork project and chatting D&D with people, since I play with most of these people. I hope your morning is going well as also. Ooh. So what I've done in the past, Merlin, is if you want, like, is the class just completely not on D&D Beyond? Or is it one that's just not available without purchase? Because you can buy them a la carte. Like, that's what I've done. That's how I got the Centaur race, and how I've gotten, like, how I got the Samurai subclass for Farron, is you can just go on and buy them individually. Ooh, cross stitch is also good. My wife actually does quite a lot of cross stitching. I know how to cross stitch, and I do it very occasionally, but it tends to make my hands hurt in a way that English paper piecing doesn't. So usually if I want to do something with my hands, I just kind of default to paper piecing or to crochet. Oh, right, the Battle Dancer Jade made. So yeah, just not on D&D Beyond. Fair enough. I forgot that was a thing for a second. Oh yeah, Kite is an amazing coder. They just straight up built their own website. And anytime they need new stuff, they just kind of make it. I mean, graphic designing one works too. These are 1.5 inches, I think. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So this is the template I've been using to do my papers. Well, the template says it's 2 inches across the long. So I think it's 1 inch per side. But yeah, this is the template I use to cut my papers. So I want to say they're inch hexes. There are 2 kinds of people in the world. Those who code their D&D character sheets and those who art them. I don't know, or something like that. Ooh, nice. I love scrap quilting.
To be honest, this is like scrap quilting is usually what I do. This is the most organized I've been for I don't know. I think there's something beautiful about scrap quilts. Yeah, as long as you like it, that's fine. This is the most organized I've been on a quilt in a long, long time, and that's because it's a gift. It's not for me. Uh, it's a belated wedding present for my brother and sister-in-law. Um, so I've got a color palette that I'm working from. It's mostly blues and yellows and oranges. With like fruits and white flowers are kind of what I'm working with. It's going well so far, I think. I should actually lay out all the ones that I have done and take a few pictures of like the whole of what I have done so far. Maybe I'll try to remember to do that after stream today. But like my other hand piecing project, I've actually got it right here because I think I was showing it off a couple weeks ago. Come on, untangle from the yarn. So this is what I've been working on for years and years and years. And this is only a small piece of it. I've got like 3 or 4 other pieces this size. But this is my scrap quilt. And this is what I'm making for me. It'll be on my bed when it's finally finished. But it's just because I hate wasting fabric. I feel so bad anytime I have to waste fabric. So anytime I have just even a little bit left, I'll cut it into. These are all 1 inch, so 1 inch squares and 1 inch triangles to try to save as much of the fabric as I can, or use as much of the fabric as I can. And all the whites, it's probably hard to see on camera, but all the whites are different white fabrics as well. They've all got like a little bit of a different patterning to them because they're all scraps as well. So yeah, it's like I said, I've been working on it for years, and I'll probably keep working on it for years because it's just kind of what I do in between other things. This is also usually my portable project because it is such small pieces. I've got like a travel kit, so when I go on vacation or when I have to go to conferences or stuff, I'll just bring my travel kit with me and work on pieces for this. Yeah. And that way it's got like little pieces of all the different projects I've done. Because it's like this sparkly blue one, I remember what quilt that was from. And like, you know, this black and white one, I remember what quilt that was from. And like this piece here is from a dress I made. So yeah, it's a really nice way, and it makes me feel better knowing that I'm using every single bit of the fabric that I can and I'm not wasting anything. Oh, that's so nice. A scrap bin would be so cool. Our local fabric store has like, not scrap bin, but like a cut bin of like, oh, somebody asked us to cut half a yard of this fabric and then decided they didn't want it. So here's a random half yard piece of whatever. And they just kind of throw all of those into a bin that you can poke through. And I've gotten some really nice fabrics that way. One of my favorite quilting shops that I order from online they have like a mystery, you can do a mystery fat quarter. So every time I do an order from them, I always tag on like an extra 2 or 3 mystery fat quarters just to kind of build my stash. Okay, that makes sense. And that's so good. I'm really glad that they just kind of, that they don't just throw it away, and they acknowledge that people are willing and able to make use of even the smallest scraps. Like even the tiny, tiny little scraps I keep because Um, whenever I make cat toys, instead of stuffing them with polyfill, I just stuff them with cotton scraps. Because cats don't care. And it's healthier too that way if they manage to chew it open. Um, it's not as hazardous as like most plastic polyfills are. Speaking of, I should make some more cat toys. Sasha's pretty much mangled all the ones I made for her before. Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea too. Pincushion insides. I also save all my thread scraps, and I've been experimenting because I do resin crafting as well. So I've been experimenting with adding the thread scraps to resin, and it actually looks really, really cool. I just haven't decided what kind of projects I want to do with that yet. I do, yeah, I usually put some catnip in too. Um, I have a pattern to make mice, but it's kind of more complicated than it's worth. I'm not very good at piecing them, and it takes me forever. So I haven't made too many of the mice. Usually what I'll do is I'll just get either cotton or fleece, because Sasha really, really loves fleece. And I'll just do a square. Like I'll just do a square packet. And with the fleece fabric and a little bit of catnip inside, Sasha adores them. I could probably attach like feathers or bells or whatever particular cats like too. But yeah, they're nothing fancy. I've mostly just made them for Sasha and for like friends' cats, because they're real quick to make up on the sewing machine too. Just a quick 4 seams. Ooh, yes, pressed flowers are great for resin. They end up looking amazing. You just have to be so, so careful. Thank you. This, again, I made it myself. It's an old hair tie that got stretched enough that I can't use it in my hair anymore. It's a magnet that I just wrapped in fabric and secured on. Like if I flip it over here, you can tell the stitching on the back is super derpy, because I was just making it for my own use. I made my thimble too, which is getting really rough. I need to make myself a new one. I just haven't yet. But yeah, no, the magnet on the back of the hand is perfect, because like I said, my wife cross stitches, and she has one of the one of the magnet needle minders that actually attaches to her hoop, which is great for cross stitch, but it's not as convenient for paper piecing. So I was like, well, it would be great if I could just have it on my hand instead. So I made one. And I could crochet mice, Merlin. I'd have to find a pattern for it. Is Theo one of those? Is Theo a yarn cat? Is he a cat that likes playing with the yarn? When we went to the shelter to get Sasha, we actually took a ball of yarn with us because we wanted to test and make sure. I think I've mentioned this before. We wanted to test and make sure that whatever cat we got wasn't going to eat the yarn like spaghetti. Because there's so much yarn in this house, and there's not really a way to cat-proof it or make sure it stays out of bounds. So we wanted to make sure that it was fine if she wanted to play with it. We just wanted to make sure she wasn't going to try to eat it. Oh yeah, you do crochet too. Duh. I knew that. Oh, absolutely. So rather than being a loose magnet, it's one that it's a magnet that comes like encased in a
plastic square. You can find them on Amazon for super cheap. They're usually used as purse clasps because with the plastic around the edge, it makes it easier to sew into and anchor it. That way you don't have to try to like figure out how to get the magnet to stay. But yeah, absolutely. Feel free to go for it. And you could do it around your hand like this. You could also wear it around your wrist if you find that more comfortable. I just find it more convenient on the back of my hand, but whatever works for you. Aww, Theo. Again, as long as he's not trying to eat it, that's fine. My friend had a cat that would literally try to eat yarn like spaghetti, and it was not good. Yeah, of course. I love being able to share like little, not hacks, but you know, little tips. Oh, you might even be able to do like a bigger magnet then. If you wanted to if you were going to be needing to carry stuff around, you could do like a bigger magnet on your wrist. As long as you weren't going to be, I guess, walking by places with a lot of loose metallic objects. That might cause problems. But yeah, in my thimble, this is just a 2.5 inch square piece of fabric that I've folded over 5 or 6 times and then just stitched in place to fit my finger. Because I hate the way that I've tried like a ton of different quilting and sewing thimbles, and I hated the way that every single one of them felt. So for a while I was just putting, like, I'd put a band-aid around my finger and use that. And then eventually I was like, I wonder if I can just layer some fabric and have that work. And it does. It works like a charm. Yep. It's not that mine are too small. I don't like having the tip of my finger covered. Especially doing English paper piecing, I'm manipulating the fabric and the thread and the needle so much. I don't like losing feeling in the tip of my finger. So any of the ones that were like that you know, loop completely over the top of the joint, I just couldn't get them to work for me. So this way I get the best of both worlds. I can still use the tip of my finger, but then also I can use the thimble to push the needle when I need it to. Oh, cat fur. Oh, Sasha. Come on. There we go. That's totally enough thread for another scene. Is it? No, probably not. I really need a thread chicken emote. Are we playing thread chicken? Yes, always. Let's see, I've only got the one. I'm gonna need more. And I only have 2 papers, so I'm gonna need more paper. Exactly! See, Ozzy gets it. Sewing and quilting is all thread chicken. That's all we do. It's how we live dangerously. Also, let us know how that stir fry turned out, Kitsune. Oh, now I'm just thinking about duck, and I have no way of getting duck. Or at least no convenient, cheap way of getting duck. What vegetables do you usually use when you stir fry? I mean, by all means, if I'm too busy playing games, I mean, that's fine. I remembered my big scissors this time. Yeah, by all means, take all the time you need. You don't even have to answer. I was just very curious. Because I tend to be, I'm really picky about vegetables. So usually, like, I love the taste of stir fry, and I love the idea of stir fry. But usually when stir fry gets made, I end up eating the meat and the rice and just kind of leaving the vegetables. Because I don't like broccoli. I don't like bok choy. I don't like carrots. And that's usually what gets used the majority of the time. Most of the vegetables I do like are not particularly well suited to being stir fried. Although Kara has in the past done, for me, again because I'm so picky about veggies, done like a zucchini and a squash stir fry that was so good. Not necessarily traditional flavors, but I loved it. Ah! I didn't mean to cut that completely off, but that's alright. Yep, yeah, that's fair. The other problem that I have sometimes is that I'm allergic to peppers. So if there's red or green peppers in the stir fry or anything, it's just an automatic, I cannot eat it, which is unfortunate.
I'm glad that you at least try things though, because like I know some picky eaters that just absolutely refuse to try things. They're like, nope, I don't like that, and it's like, well, I mean, so I can understand, like, for me with carrots, I hate carrots. So if I'm looking at something that has carrots in it, I can tell you, yeah, I'm not gonna like it. But I'll usually still at least give it a try. White baby mouth. Yeah, I can't handle spice either, but again, I think that's because, at least partially because of my allergy. So even if something doesn't have peppers in it, if it's spicy for another reason, like horseradish or whatever, um, I'll try to eat it and my brain will go, nope, nope, you're allergic to this. Even if I'm not, because it has the spicy taste to it, my brain will kind of freak out and be like, nope, nope, you can't eat this. No, don't. And so, yeah, I'm just not used to spice at all because I never eat it because I'm allergic to so much of it. Like, I cannot handle wasabi at all. I love sushi and I can't with wasabi because it just tastes even the tiniest amount. Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair, Ozzy. Pieces, that's what I'm doing. I swear I'm awake. I'm definitely not awake. This is fine. Yeah. Yeah. Green chili is... yeah. Most of the time I'm lucky where if it's something like chili or a stir fry or something, I can usually sniff it and tell if I can eat it or not. Yeah, green chili makes my nose itch. So that's definitely a no-go. However, the flip side of that is I love a good curry. Especially if it's like a Japanese savory curry, because it's usually not spicy. It doesn't have peppers in it. It's just really like warming and really I don't know, like it's such a good comfort food. It's really warming and filling. I love a good Japanese curry. Especially if you throw like apples and potatoes into it. Oh, it's so good. Now I want curry and the weather outside is much too hot for it. Curry and chili are winter dishes. Oh, okay. Let me finish up this piece here. Merlin has redeemed a stretch and a hydrate. And those are for everybody. Like stitching together more than basting, that's fair. I like both, I think. I don't Yeah, I don't think I really enjoy one more than the other. I like them both. And I do like alternating though, because I tend to, I don't know if get bored is the right word, but if I'm doing like basting for a really, really long time, or if I have a ton of pieces and I'm just stitching for a really, really long time, it gets too repetitive, I guess. I like switching back and forth. It keeps enough variety in it. Ooh, today's stir-fry veg. Fine beans, baby corn, and mange tout. Tender stem broccoli, red onion, garlic. Oh, baby corn is amazing. I forgot about baby corn. I love baby corn. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair, Ozzy. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, basting is definitely the more mindless. Stitching together, especially, so this isn't so bad, but like a couple of them I've had like directional fabric where it's like stripes that I have to make sure are all going in the right direction, or I've had a couple plaid ones where I've had to like make sure I'm stitching them in the right orientation. That can be, and there were definitely a couple that I wasn't paying attention and had to pull the seam after, so yeah, I totally get that. Okay, so Merlin has redeemed a stretch and a hydrate. It is almost noon when I was going to take a short break anyhow, so I'm just going to take a break now, grab myself a quick nom, and a new glass of juice. Everybody else also cycle your fluids, get up and stretch if you haven't. Um, yeah, so yeah, get up, stretch, walk around a little bit. I'll be back in just a few minutes, and I'll see you then. Let's see.
Alrighty, I am back. I have eaten. I had garlic potatoes from last night's shawarma. But that's fine, because none of you have to smell my breath. I did forget to grab a new glass of juice, but that's okay. I still have some coffee. I was just intending to also grab juice. Pardon. Let's see. Ooh, chopped garlic. Were you able to get the outside husk off? Because you have to first peel garlic. I assume you know this, but I want to make sure, because if you don't know this, it can go poorly. Garlic needs to be peeled before it is chopped. The outside, like, papery bits, even once you break into the clove and get the individual cloves out, there's still like a papery layer on them that needs to be peeled off. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure, because that bit's not fun to eat. I figured you probably knew that, but also figured I would double check. Yeah, garlic juice can be a bit sticky. It sure can. But if it's all going in the stir fry, it should soften up fine. So having slightly larger bits shouldn't make too much of a difference. It will all soften up and blend together. Ugh. Also, I saw you repost that art in the art channel, Kitsune. Good job. A++. Best art. Gotta keep the magic alive. If we go too long in between posting that, who knows what'll happen. Yes, Sasha, thank you for your contributions. Oh man, so Sasha's not here, as I mentioned. She's out at the cottage with Jade. And so last night, Kara and I are sitting down on the couch watching TV, as we do, and the living room is directly below Jade's room. So we're just sitting there watching TV, and then on the ceiling, we hear a very distinct thud, like, which is the sound of Sasha jumping down from her cat tree in Jade's room. And we both just kind of looked at each other like, you heard that, right? And we both heard it at the exact same time. We both heard Sasha jump down from her cat tree, despite Sasha not being here. And like, I don't know, maybe it was like someone in the next unit over knocking something into the wall and it echoed just right so that it sounded like it came from Jade's room. But like, it was the exact sound that always happens when Sasha jumps down from her cat tree. It was a bit weird. So apparently she's learning to astrally project. Which is actually not that surprising when it comes to this cat. Shampoo falling in the shower? I mean, yeah, maybe. Also, hi Tribeca. We didn't actually get up to check it out. We just kind of looked at each other and shrugged it off. But yeah, who knows? Also, morning Kifa. Hello to you too. Although, well, I guess it is morning for you. I was gonna say, it's no longer morning for me. But you can say good morning, I suppose. Oh! It is indeed noon. I mean, it's 9 a.m. for you. That was the noon owl. It is now officially afternoon for me. Then again, I'm one of those people that I'm just in the habit of when I see a person for the first time that day, I'll just habitually say good morning, no matter what time of the day it is. At my old job, I used to like answer the door for delivery people. And if it was one of our usual delivery people, I'd just be like, oh, good morning, even though it was like 2 in the afternoon. I don't know why I do that. My brain just kind of defaults to, oh, this is the first time I'm seeing you. Therefore, good morning.
people do that. Oh, good. I mean, at most, people just kind of give me a weird look for it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's afternoon. I just figured it was something. Yeah, I guess it's just for some people, it's just kind of it's wired in as the default greeting, regardless of timestamp. No, we are not playing Thread Chicken with that. Yeah. Yeah, and then you get those people. I'm very sorry for that. Isn't that just the best, like, blessing slash curse? May you have the day you deserve, sir and or ma'am. Oh my gosh, yes, that's great.
it's one thing to call them on it, but then sometimes, once in a million years, if you make them actually lay out the logic to it, maybe they'll have a self-realization of like, oh, that might not be the best thing to say for XYZ reasons. Doesn't happen often, but sometimes. There we go. Sometimes the thread behaves. Okay. Aw. Good morning, Dancer. Good evening, Dancer. I'm sort of learning what time zones people are in. Sometimes. I should color code you. Although I don't think I have any control over what colors Twitch assigns to people. But I could color code. Everyone in the UK gets this color. Everyone in my time zone gets this color. Everyone on the West Coast gets this color. Undetermined get this color. You have select. Wait, you can choose? How do you choose? Because I feel like every time I go into somebody's Twitch chat, I'm a different color. I didn't know you could choose. I always felt like mine just got assigned randomly. Chat identity. Oh, neato. I'll have to try that. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. When I'm not actively streaming. Cool, thank you. I had no idea you could choose. Does that change it? I'm guessing if it's global chat color, it'll change it for every Twitch chat you're in, not just the current one. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, cool.
have learned a thing today. Oh yeah, readable colors will be the first thing I click. For sure. There's nothing worse than like lime green or bright yellow text on a white background. Or even lime green or bright yellow text on a black background sometimes. Like I remember long ago in ye olde days of the internet, by which I mean like 1999, there was one particular site that I would go to read fanfics. But of course, it was like, you know, an Angel Fire site that had been built by hand by whoever ran it. And for whatever reason, they had made the choice that the entire site was going to be solid black background, bright yellow text. And let me tell you, trying to read a fanfic that's like a couple thousand words on a solid black background with bright yellow text, that hurts your eyes after a while. It might be perfectly readable, but it hurt. I would usually just like copy the entire fanfic and then paste it into a plain text document so that I could read it black on white. After a while, your eyes just kind of go woobly and you start seeing the weird after images. Yeah, it was not great. It was terrible. Hot take, websites should just provide you with the words and pictures, and your browser should render it to the text in the format best for the user. That would be great. Where's that accessibility program? Because you could, like, in your browser, set your global preferences, and then it just renders every website in that format. That would be fantastic. Reader mode. Okay. Oh, that is a thing. Is that something that would be in like browser options, Kate? Yeah, that's a weird thing for the... Thank you, Merlin. Highlighter... Oh, no. Highlighter yellow background with navy blue text. Yeah, that does sound terrible. Or, okay, I can see possibly worse being navy blue background with highlighter yellow text. That would also be equally terrible. For slightly different reasons. Depends on which thing your eyes hate more. I'm going to assume that AutoMod didn't like the word hate. Which I guess fair enough, but AutoMod clearly does not have the most fantastic AI. Neon text and backgrounds, yeah, absolutely. That's why I use a soothing pastel blue blanket for the back of my, for my backdrop. I tried using a black blanket once, and the autofocus on the camera wigged out. Or not autofocus, but like the automatic brightness adjustment, it did not know what to do. So I switched back to the light blue blanket. It seems to like that better. Oh no. I was just gonna say I sensed some salt there, Kifa, but yeah, that would do it. Sigh. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no teacher's gonna go through and count those manually. Now that's a method of padding I had never heard before. That's really smart. I used to do the thing where I would pad out page count by like double spacing everything and making periods a larger font size, like making the periods and the commas a larger font size, so that they took up slightly more space. But yeah, that doesn't do much for the word count. That is smart. I mean, as long as the actual content is good and you are making your points, because I used to have that problem too, where like, I guess my writing style is always concise enough that like I'd have my points and I'd have all my supporting evidence and I'd finish making my argument or whatever, and then I'd still be like, 2 pages under the minimum, and I'm like, but I'm done. So I'd have to like figure out how to pad it. And there's times where if you were legitimately trying to like add more words to get to the higher page count, you end up making your paper worse because you're watering down your points. So yeah, minimum word counts and page counts, like I understand why they're a thing, but I always hated them so much in school. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. They always wanted you to like give a whole bunch of context and meandering. Oh yeah, I have a business degree. There was so much bullshit in my papers. Bullshit and buzzwords. If you can say something is synergistic, it will get you a higher grade on your business paper, whether it is synergistic or not. Yes, Of Mice and Men. That was not the worst book I ever had to read, but definitely not my favorite either. It was a book that I have definitely read. 4 papers, and the professor didn't read a single one of them. Instead, just wow! Jeez, Merlin. Synergy is using words from 3 other people's sentences. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it is, Kite. And nobody can prove otherwise. I mean, I got really lucky when I was in university in that my one English professor was actually real cool. And she let me write a research paper on fan fiction, which was fantastic. And afterwards, she actually like thanked me for doing it because she was like, "This is a thing that I sort of knew existed, but I didn't know a lot about what fan fiction was, and I'm really, really happy because I was writing it on fan fiction and copyright law and the legalities of it. And my professor was like, I actually learned a lot. Thank you so much for writing this. So that made me feel really happy. Oh no, an entire paragraph of nonsense about rubber ducks. Amazing. I mean, you joke, Kite, but I probably could have. Also, ooh, stir fry pictures. 1 second. I wish to see the duck. Oh my gosh, that looks so good, Kitsune. Enjoy it. Yeah, that looks really, really good. I mean, in high school, I also wrote a paper about how the X-Men comics were an allegory for racism. And I think my professor or my teacher gave me an A just because he had no idea what I was talking about. So as long as I sounded like I knew what I was talking about and put in citations and made it look convincing, I don't think he actually, like, I'm sure he read it, but I don't think he actually understood half of what I was referencing. Or I think it was it X-Men as an allegory for just racism, or did I expand it into the X-Men as an allegory for racism and disability? I don't rightly remember. That was grade 12, which was a while ago. So, like last year, thank you, Kifa. No, it was a little bit longer than that. Cause yeah, fun fact, I've been living in Canada for 10 years. And high school was a while before that. This year would actually be... Oh shit, this year would technically be my... Well, I'm sure it is. My 15th high school reunion. If I was in any mindset to actually go. Or had the financial means and motivation to go, which I do not. Yup. Yeah, exactly. And I think that was part of my argument where it works as an allegory for racism. It's not a perfect allegory for disability. Just because not all of the powers are a disability. But it does work in certain points. Again, that was 15 years ago. I don't remember the exact points I made, but I believe that was my rough thesis. Yeah, that's true. As an allegory for invisible disabilities. I think the answer to that one, particularly for the movies, Azzy, is that they were pulling from, like, they wanted the most popular characters from the comics to be in the movies. If you actually go through, 70, 80 years of comics history, there are a lot more mutants with detrimental and quote unquote bad powers, but they're not as popular or as well known. So they didn't get tapped to be in the movie. Yeah, I think so. Dancer. It's also been a very long time since I've seen any of the movies. And a lot of the more recent ones I haven't seen at all. So take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. That's also part of why I make a distinction between comics and graphic novels. Like, graphic novels can be fantastic when it's a contained story that's structured and set, and, okay, this is going to be 1 volume, 2 volumes, whatever, but this is the entire story here. It's just in a graphical format instead of a text format. That's fine. It's the long running, we need to keep this comic going forever kind of thing. That's when you start getting into plotline snarls, because they don't have a plan. They're just building arcs on top of arcs on top of arcs because they want to keep the comic going. So to me, that's like, they're two very different things. Ooh, Alice in Wonderland and Sabrina. Both of those are very good franchises. Neither ones that I've kept up with much myself, but of course I do know of them. Jeez. Yeah, that's not great, Merlin. That does not sound like a great professor. Oh, come on. It would be nice if this needle decided to behave. There we go. Close enough. Yeah, that professor sounds like a dick. Pardon my language.
this before I forget about it. Okay. Oh, yeah, that professor's absolutely a dick then. Again, somehow not surprising, but hello, welcome. I'm SJ. We're just kind of chilling, and I'm sewing. Chat, I think, is currently discussing bad professors and uh, various literature classes. And or bad professors in general. I mean, I could tell the story about the time I had a professor fail me because of the OC Transpo bus system. Because he wouldn't take "my bus was late" as reasoning for being late to an exam. Yeah, no, yeah, this professor, so it was one of those classes where the exam was worth like 45% of our grade or something stupid like that. And I wasn't doing super great in that course to begin with. And then I'm trying to remember which time this was, because there were multiple times that the bus system made me late for exams. Oh yeah, absolutely someone that's never taken public transit ever. I believe this was the time where like 2 buses in a row just didn't show up. And so I ended up coming into the exam like 25 minutes late. And he basically told me, don't bother taking the exam. You won't be able to finish in time. You're supposed to be here on time. I'm just auto failing you. And he would not take "the bus was late" as an answer. Yeah, I hated that professor. And unfortunately, he was the only one that taught that course. And I had to take that course for my degree, so the next semester, I had to take it again with him. Oh, I hated that guy so much.
I passed it the second time with like, I think a B. Still didn't do fantastically, but yeah, no, he was definitely a dick. I don't think I even remember his name because I like scrubbed him from my mind the moment I was done with the classes. Because I think his reasoning was like, he was like, you should have left earlier to make sure that you got here. And I was like, I did. I left like half an hour before I needed to. It's not my fault the buses did not show up. Oh yeah. No, it happened. It's done. It's fine. Oh man, that's rough, Ozzy. Yeah, the school system can be so inflexible sometimes. They are not paper all the way through. They're only paper most of the way through. And the goal is the stitches I'm making here at the edges are not catching the paper at all. They're just catching the edge of the fabric. Yeah, that is complete bullshit. That does not sound like a great policy at all. Because stuff happens. Like you said, you had a family death, illness happens, child illness happens, partner illness happens. Like, what the heck? Yup, yeah, exactly, Kitsune. In the real, they're like, oh, well, in the real world, you can't, there's no leniency, no one will be paid. Yeah, they are. Like, that's actually one of the biggest adjustments I'm having with my current, like, my new job. Because so for the last 7 years, I've worked in retail where you're expected to be productive and working hard and doing stuff every single second of your shift. And my manager expects to know what I'm doing every single second of my shift. And now I'm working in an office job where, like, they just assume I'm working. Like, there's no camera in my office. There's no camera in the hall outside my office. Nobody's, like, checking in to ask me what I'm doing. It's really weird. Well, like, it's from my experience that I've had so far, it's like making me weirdly paranoid where I'm like, why don't you want to know what I'm doing? But it's like, no, this is just how work is. I'm just too used to being micromanaged. What? Yeah, that's ridiculous, Ozzy. Oh yeah, it was definitely toxic, Kifa. Uh, it was what I had. But yeah, it's really weird now working in a place where my manager's just like, yeah, have this done at some point, and isn't like leaning over my shoulder to figure out what I'm doing. It's strange. And like I'm getting used to the fact that I don't have to ask her, like, hey, do you want me to do X? Or, hey, should I go do X now? I can just go do it if I think that's what needs to be done. It's, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, that's complete BS, Ozzy. I'm so sorry. That frickin' sucks. Ooh, we might actually finish the last of this row today. Ooh, berry picking. I'm gonna guess time of year strawberries? But yeah, sunburn's a thing. I'm kind of surprised. Kara and I went for a long walk the other day, and I was just wearing a tank top. I'm kind of surprised I don't have burns on my shoulders, but I don't. So I'm gonna count that as a win. What are you gonna do with all your newfound berries? Oh, raspberries. Ah, that's still good. Are you just gonna eat them, or are you gonna make something with them? Oh, God Dancer. You probably should have said that to her face. At least the first part of it. It's a science class, jeez. Ooh. Yes, just eat them. Blueberry, fresh, like, yeah, fresh blueberry pancake sounds amazing. Enjoy that. See, I'm not a fan of cherries. So you can have all of my share of cherries too, Merlin. Blueberry pancakes are amazing though. Oh, or fresh blueberry muffins. Now I want muffins. Darn it, chat, you always make me hungry. No, that's totally fair, Merlin. I don't like either one. Doesn't matter if it's fresh or artificial. It is lunchtime. Yeah, that's true. It is lunchtime. I have leftover shawarma downstairs that I'll be eating once I get off stream. Ooh, yeah, bananas are good. I love bananas. Nope, that's fair, Merlin. Murder. One of the first ever pictures, oh gosh, I had forgotten about this. One of the first ever pictures I saw of my wife. So she and I met online, and were friends online for a really, really long time before we ever started dating. And here we are now married. Um, so way back when we were just like, friends and chatting and stuff, one of the first pictures she ever sent me was just after she had dyed her own hair and her hands were dyed bright red. Or well, no, it was the gloves. She still had gloves on, but the latex gloves were covered in the bright red dye. So she sent me this picture of her in like a darkened room with just like her quote unquote bloody hands out and just like this evil grin on her face and the light glinting off her glasses. I think I still have that picture around somewhere. It was hilarious. And that was one of the first pictures I ever saw of her. I wonder if she remembers that. I should send it to her just to see if she does. If I can find it. I'm pretty sure I still have it around somewhere. Oh, she's always been a gremlin. That's never not been a thing. But yes, young gremlin Kara. Also, Merlin, are you planning to play more Fire Emblem sometime soon? I would love to watch. Because dumb boys, dumb babies. Here you go. Gwemwen is a state of mind. It's true. That's true. Oh yeah, that's fair. And I'm please always take care of yourself before streaming. Always, always, always. You come first. Also, naps are amazing. I definitely took one multiple days this week. Oh, I have more than enough pieces. 3. Okay, yeah, we will finish this today, most likely. Cool. Oh, yeah, that's a mood, Kitsune. Or, Dancer. Sorry, just saw I read the chat box and then looked up and another chat message had appeared. Yeah, no, the weather, anytime it's raining, I don't usually sleep well. Yeah, that's fair too, Merlin. I'm usually pretty good about it. I can usually lay down for an hour or 2 and get up and be okay. Or even sometimes, like, I'll get this feeling where, like, my head is super heavy and I can just put it down for, like, 20 minutes and then pop back up after 20-25 minutes and be way better. But that's only at, like, certain times. Ah, the heat. Yeah, that makes sense. think with me and rain, it's the pressure. Because my sinuses in my head don't usually like when there's a lot of pressure from storms and stuff. I'm very fortunate that we have air conditioning, so I don't have to worry about the heat as much. Also, aha! Merlin is prodding me to go play board games, which I shall. Once I finish this seam. That is the one sort of downside of English paper piecing, is you can't exactly stop in the middle of a seam. Or at least it's very difficult to. It's much easier just to finish off the seam, if at all possible. I mean, yeah, that's exactly why it's there, is as a point sink. Otherwise, you end up like those of us in Julie's chat. Like, I think I've got 72,000 channel points for her at the moment. Probably more. Because they just kind of sit and accumulate. Actually, I probably have more than that. I mean, that's part of why I went and I found the little dragon pet app thing. I was like, oh yeah, this will be a real good channel point sink. Oops. Didn't mean to knock the camera there. All right. Pause this a second. All right. Oop. Oh, sorry. That was probably loud. I did not mean to hit the mic there. Ooh, fruit is good. And yay, cookies for Carby. All right, let's see. Where is my... that one? I'm gonna... load for me. There we go. All right, let's see what I've got. I don't think I've played through them this morning. So I should have a decent chunk of them. Again, my internet connection is still a little wobbly, so if these loading times are atrocious, I apologize. Okay, chakra. I guess let's do that. Move that one down one, that one down one, and that one down one. Okay, next.
Should be able to use that. And the one in my... Here we go. We're still only midway through year 3. This is fine. Ooh. Forgot I had that. Don't need that. Here we go. I think that's the only thing I can have to activate at the moment. Yes. Next. Ah, Stella. The art for this game is so pretty. Alright, did anyone else pick the same card? Wow, Zershin found 4 that he thought worked for Vengeance. I only found the 1. Okay, next. I'll play that. Hopefully I can avoid winning the last trick. Yahtzee. Okay, so I still need a large straight and 5 of a kind. Well, I have the 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Will I get lucky? Probably not. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that as my chance roll. Next. Ah, yes, the Kite Koi Koi game. Let us take the crane. Oh, I love it when they do that. Okay, next. Oh! I mean, yeah, Kitsune, that's fair. I don't know either. Okay, which do I care which direction? They will win only 1 pink. You know what? Sure. That works for me. What card should I pass to Kite? They can only win 1 pink. I'm gonna pass them that. Okay, next. Ooh, that was a lucky draw. So I have 4 kings I can now play. The jack I can put there. A wild I can put there. Ace I can put there. 2 8s. 6. 5. 4. And the worst part of this, I can't go out until I've actually completed my contracts, none of which I have yet. Okay, Takedo. I do not have any oceans yet. Let's just go here. Next. Ooh. Hearts or trump. Do I bet 2 or 3? mean, I'm the first player, so it's entirely possible if I lead with the queen, I could win 4? I'll go with 3 to be on the safe side. I mean, honestly, I feel like I might sweep this, but okay. Hey, Yalk finally lost a point. Hooray. Let's go with 8. Next. More hand and foot. You can tell I like this game because I've got like 3 rounds of it going at any given time. Okay, nothing useful. Discard. Next. Also this one. Guys, please. Next. Alhambra. I mean, yeah, I could put that one down there. And I do have exact change. Exact change is good because it means you get a second turn. Confirm. Next. Oh, that's a scoring round. Okay. Kite kicking the pants off the rest of us currently. Next. Yes, good. More London. This is the one where I want to... Yeah, so I want to try to connect all the stations in this central area. And this is the wild card. Let's just continue with my weird little U shape here. I'll go over here. Next. Okay, so there's nothing down in my... ooh. I'll take that. And play it immediately. Let's take those. Confirm. Next. Ew, honeybee. Honeybee, honeybee. Next. Okay. Still need 4 of a kind and 5 of a kind. And 4s and 5s. Do I want to just reroll all of these? You know what? YOLO. Okay. Okay. It's not bad. Yeah. Not 4 of a kind, but I'll score for the 4s. That'll work. Next. More castles of Burgundy. A different castle of Burgundy. Kite is very, very good at games. I am always quite pleased with myself when I manage to beat Kite at a game. Usually by accident. Let's put cows up here. Can I acquire more? I can acquire more cows. Ooh, but I can also acquire mine. Let's just take that mine. Yoink. Ooh, yes. I would like that. Thank you. Okay, confirm turn. Next. More hand and foot. Right, we need 90 to open here. Next. Ah, yes. I own Chicago, don't I? Yes, I have a thing in Chicago. So play that. This is another one of those games where I kind of understand how it works. I should go through and read the directions again. And I have not. Ah, yes, Azul. Aha! I can just yoink. Very useful, thank you. Next. I may not get my second trick here, but that's okay. You can tell I definitely have biases towards certain games. I like card games, and I like, I don't know, artistic games? Question mark? Ones like Azul and Next Station London, where there's a strategic element to them, but also like, but also like an element of, okay, now draw the thing. That's kind of fun. I mean, the strategy comes in figuring out, actually, I want that. Gimme. In figuring out how best to connect all the things, but I don't know, it's fun. I like seeing the patterns you can make. I am blue in this round of Carcassonne. I think I have a monastery down here. I do. Put that there. Burbs! Burbs! Oh, this is not useful at all. Okay, well, I don't need the mockingbird. Hey! I drew a flamingo. More Azul. Alright. So I've got the black, the yellow, and the red. Let's go with that one here. Oh yeah, Azul is really easy to learn. It's basically, well, I probably have another table of it. But it's basically picking tiles from the center and placing them on your board at the bottom. And when you fill up a row on your board, you can move it across to the wall, the scoring wall, and then making patterns on the scoring wall is how you score points. It's one of those where it's really easy to learn. The trick is in figuring out the strategy. Ooh, that's a wild card. Need that. And discard the 7. Next. I think people are playing in the background. Ooh, 2 wizards and a 2 trump. And a couple face cards off trump. I always seem to end up winning more than I think I'm gonna. So I'm gonna go with predicting 3 there. Oh, good. I can dump a face card there. Next. Ooh, people are playing in the background. I see how this goes. And I want the spiky ones. They're worth more points. Okay, next. Aha, I can just there, and then buy the other castle. That'll work. Next. Play that one. Next. Ooh. Oh, I love drawing brights. No possible move. Boo. Next. My other talk game. Next. All right, I am caught up. Yeah, exactly, Kuma. I always seem to find that if I've got a couple face cards, I'm gonna end up winning with one of them, even if it's off trump. Switch back to that. The board games have been defeated. Except I'm sure you and Kite are both playing in the background and I've probably now immediately got like 3 more to play, but it's fine. It's fine. The board games have been delayed. We'll put it that way. I mean, there is a non-zero amount of games that is just some combination of me, Kitsune, Kuma, and Kite. And if we're all sitting right here, they're gonna cycle.
That is definitely not a complaint whatsoever. I'm gonna have to go in this afternoon and join a few rando games, or actually I'll probably set up tables for us. Because I seem to be running low on dice games. I think both tables of Can't Stop Express I was in have both finished, which means I need to set up new ones. I should also see about ordering a scoring pad for Don't Stop Express, because I could probably force Kara to play with me IRL. Yeah, sometimes I make tables. Sometimes. I made a whole tournament. If you want to go play Koi Koi, I made a whole tournament. The Route 66 version better than base Can't Stop. Okay, that's fair. I'll probably make tables of all of them. I like weird dice games. Now that I actually know how Route 66 functions, because I don't really think I did last time. I was just kind of poking buttons and rolling dice. But I get how it works now. I think I needed to see the base version first, because the way that the Route 66 version is set up is a little bit obtuse, and I think I thought that you were supposed to be able to advance through the different areas instead of just being, that's the record keeping area for that number. I wasn't quite sure how it worked, but I've got a much better idea now. Also, good morning, Kuma. Hello, welcome. How are you? Etc. Is it the board games that drew you in, or was that just a happy coincidence? Were your senses tingling? Oh, I bet SJ's playing board games. I should drop in. Yeah, exactly. They went for pretty and looks cool over design describing how game works. Which, again, now that I know what I'm looking at, it does make sense. But if you've never played before, it's a bit obtuse. Aha! Well, welcome. I'll be going for another half hour-ish or so, as usual. Yeah, Azul's really fun. And like I said, it's one of those games where it's really easy to learn, and then the trick comes in strategizing based on what your opponents pick, based on what's left on the table, based on what you think your opponents are going to pick in the coming rounds. Ooh, we're going to breed a Carby. Also, good morning, Bladness. How are you? Oh my god, amazing. He's so pink and so angry. Well, no, not even angry. That smirk, though. Oh, I love him. Excellent, Carby. Ooh, and we're gonna do a battle. Yay, we win. Excellent.
I mean, as much as we've been stuffing Carby full of tacos and cookies, we are keeping our crown. Excellent. And a victory steak. Huzzah! We should have time to get these last 3 pieces in before the end of stream. And then hopefully by next week, the fabric I ordered will have arrived. So we'll be able to back up and do that last outline on the star we were working on previously. Sometimes things behave, sometimes things do not behave. Yeah. Yeah. Is that an approved fox noise? Come to think of it, what noises do foxes make? They kind of like yip, don't they? I feel like they're yippy creatures, but I could be wrong. They laugh? I mean, I'm not actually walking into the what does the fox say mean here. I'm genuinely curious. They laugh? The screaming makes sense. Most creatures can and will scream if distressed. Huh. Interesting. Now I'm gonna have to go look up YouTube videos of fox noises. It's just something that had never occurred to me before. Variety of yips, sort of screeches, laughs, and growls and stuff. Cool. Another long Sasha tail fluff. And thank you for your contributions. Rats growl? Amazing. I mean, again, I feel like that's one of those things. I think most creatures are probably capable of growling. It's probably a matter of whether certain creatures are inclined to growl. Or whether they're inclined to make other sorts of noises instead. Because, I mean, humans can growl. We just typically don't. Really, Sasha? She's helping, I know. She's contributing to the density, or something. Also, progress report. I know I said I was going to take pictures and I haven't yet, but so the bases for my desert bus shaker charms Umbreon, Eevee, and Vaporeon are done. And I've got plans for what I'm doing for the rest of them. I'll probably pour... I mean, I'll probably do... What molds and what shapes do I have? I'll do Espeon today. I'll do Jolteon today. And Flareon today, I think. And then I'll just have Glaceon, Leafeon, and Sylveon left for the initial pours. And then I'll be able to start in on putting the cards in them and filling them and such. Yeah, so they're going to be themed based on their tiers. So Eevee is just clear resin with like gold and silver sparkles in it. Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon will all be translucent with just a single color. So like Vaporeon is a translucent, really rich blue. Jolteon will be yellow and Flareon will be red, of course. Espeon and Umbreon will have the same sparkles in them as Eevee. One of them gold and one of them silver. Your cardigan is coming along. I am in the sleeves stage. I was hoping to have it done by the end of June, and that was not happening. So hold me accountable, and I'll try to have it done by the end of July and ready to ship to you. I just need to, I need to push myself to work on it more consistently. It is nearly done. It's like 80% of the way done. I just need to finish the sleeves on it. No rush, I know, but it is so close to being done. I just need to push through and actually finish it. The problem is if you keep saying no rush, it'll keep getting pushed further back. When I stream... Yes! Actually, yes, that's perfect. I will work on it while you are streaming. That is the perfect way to divide it down. Yes, yes, that is a good idea. Excellent. A bargain has been struck. Exactly. I mean, hey, it works. Because I want to watch Fire Emblem. So it gets Merlin to stream. And it gets me to work on the cardigan. Whoa, cookies for baby. Excellent. Close the deal with cookies. Perfect. Done. Oh, yeah, so Umbreon and Espeon will have the same, it's not glitter, it's more like confetti. So they'll have the Espeons will be silver and Umbreons will be gold, as makes sense. For Leafeon and Glaceon, they'll probably be very, very pale blue and green respectively. But then I have like little polymer clay pieces that I've been using for fillers for the shaker charms, but they can also be used in the resin.
I have little snowflakes that I'll use for Glaceon and little flowers that I'll use for Leafeon. Oh, oh, that's exciting, Merlin. Oh, I hope that goes well. Workshop space is so important. Like, honestly, getting this sewing room has been one of the best things um, for me in a long time. Just having your own space to be able to work in and not trying to cram your work into another space is amazing. So yeah, I really, really hope that works out. Good luck. Yeah, so Leafeon and Glaceon will have little flowers and little snowflakes inside their resin. The only one that I haven't 100% figured out yet is Sylveon. I'm not sure how I want that one to look, especially since they're sort of in a tier all on their own. I was thinking possibly a pink resin with like actual glitter in it as opposed to the confetti that the others will have, so that it's a little bit more shimmer sparkly. But if anyone has any better suggestions for Sylveon, again, that's the one I'm not quite 100% sure how I want it to go yet. Yeah, no, that's definitely a mood Merlin. Come on. There we go. Yeah, no, I really, really hope that works out for you. Trying to cram crafting into spaces that are too small for it or not dedicated to it is such a pain. Sylveon is, oh geez. I mean, maybe? Just so much rar. Instead of knives, it's kisses. I mean, I do have little hearts as well. I could toss those into the resin. But I kind of want it to be, well, because then it kind of works along with Glaceon and Leafeon as sort of the extra tier evolutions. I do not have little bows now. I mean, not ones that I could easily put in the resin is the thing. This is more about just like how I want the resin bases itself to look. Maybe? I'm not super great with clay. I might see, I have one supplier on Etsy that I've been using for the majority of my polymer clay pieces because they've got a huge variety and they're really, really good quality. I might see if they have anything on there that would work well. I'll take a look this afternoon. Because they're also based just outside of Toronto, so their shipping is super fast. Their stuff gets to me within like 2 days, which is part of why I love using them. Oh yes, absolutely, Kiva. But this is little pieces that would go into the resin. Actually, I have them right here. still camera. So they're made for usually nail art, like acrylic nail art. But it's little, that's what these are. It's just little tiny polymer clay slices that I would then put into the resin. So they would be completely encased in the resin. Or I would be using them for the shaker bits inside the charms. So yeah, I would not be using it as just the charms by themselves. Nope, they go in here. But yeah, so I have little snowflakes. I don't know how well my camera's focusing. But yeah, I have little snowflakes that I'll use for Glaceon. Top right. Oh, here. Oh, they're little dolls, I think. If you can't quite see on here, I'll send you some pictures later. But they're little, I guess like they're Matryoshka dolls. Yeah, I know my camera does not like focusing well. But I do have, so I have little pink hearts that are really cute. I also have, these are also hearts, but they're like more solid, multicolor hearts. And then these are the ones that I'll probably use for Leafeon. I have like little multicolored flowers that I'll put in for Leafeons. I don't actually have any leaves at the moment, I just have little flowers, but I think that'll work out well, especially contrasted against the snowflakes. Yeah, I think for Sylveon I might just do glitter and have it be like, see if I can get it to be sort of iridescent a little bit, and shimmery. And I think that'll work because that way it'll stand on its own too. Because then Glaceon and Leafeon will have these. But then Sylveon will kind of stand on their own. Oh no, where do I put this? Just put it. Hello, Randus. Good afternoon. Welcome. This is yes, this is now the son of Carbuncle. Oh, almost lost my thread. There was a random breeding, and now our boy is pink and smirky. I like him, he's cute. But also next stream, he can be changed again if people so choose. I don't mind. I think they're all adorable. I think there is like a day-long cooldown on the breeding though. But yeah, hey Randus, how are you? Welcome. I'll be finishing up here in a few minutes. Oh my gosh, Sasha fur. Sasha fur everywhere. You missed it. We were discussing potential supersonic light earlier. As in, how fast can Kite make their tabaxi go? Noom was the answer, generally. Nah, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Much Noom, such meow. Also, I realized that I don't think Kara realized that Glint can use... Oh, you're returning good time, Kite. But yeah, I realized, I don't think Kara realized, Glint can use prestidigitation to dry them all off. So I'm making a mental note to have her do that at the beginning of next session. So that maybe light will be less drippy. Yeah, Randa showed up, so we circled back to D&D talk. It sure does. Like I said, I don't think Kara realized that. Or remembered. It's okay, I'll fix it. It's fine. Also, it would have been useless to cast it when you were still, like, outside under the waterfall. But now that they're back indoors, it could be useful. Out of the more direct spray. Or don't, but then there will just be sad dripping cats. Just very disgruntled dripping tabaxi. It's so sad. Yeah, there is a giant waterfall in our current location, and people have had to cross a rope bridge, like basically right in front of it multiple times. So everyone's pretty soaking wet from the spray and such. And the tabaxi are not happy about it. Yeah, we did also wade across the river. Well, yeah. Besleek and Light waded across the pool at the bottom of the waterfall. And Bram had to ford the river further up. People. The non-centaurs. Look, Bram is not stepping hook on that rope bridge. Thank you very much. Come on. We were also discussing potential multi-classing for the fun of it. Come on. Here we go. The centaur is called Bram. Yes, he's my paladin. I like playing centaurs and making my DM's life difficult. Ooh. Light has +4s. I think Bram's highest is a +3. He might have a +4. But I don't think so. Because I chose my proficiencies for character reasons. The centaur. I mean, you would say that, Kitsune, but I think he's managed to hit something in combat once, and then literally almost got killed for it. My boy is trying, okay? Someday he'll get to do something heroic. Someday. His time will come, I hope. Come on, Thread. You know, this is Thread Chicken. I definitely have enough to get through this last scene. But the Thread is going to protest that I don't. Yeah, Bram's the meat shield that keeps... Yeah. Look, he's trying. He's a good boy. Like I said, someday he'll get to do something dramatic and heroic. It just hasn't happened yet. Oh, good, Kite. I'm glad somebody has Dex. Because it's not Bram. I was honestly impressed that you didn't make me roll to be able to turn around in the tunnels, Randus. I was fully expecting to get stuck halfway around. Just really sad neighing noises. Alright. Haha, we have one Thread Chicken. Take that, Thread. I mean, I was also definitely thinking those sort of comments, believe me. I would not be offended at all. Yeah, at one point he definitely did have to back up to be able to let everybody else around. What worries me is that Randus has said this is not the least centaur friendly location in the module. So there is some place that's going to be somehow worse. I suspect it's going to be the road up to the dragon's lair, which is probably all climb checks. But we'll see. Alright, and that's another flower done. So I can snip out these two papers. Dragonflight will be fine. Sure. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine until proven otherwise. This is because this module was written before centaurs were a thing in D&D, isn't it? Or before centaurs were a PC thing in D&D. God, imagine if one of us was playing like a Goliath or a Minotaur. That would be just as bad. I mean, maybe not on the climb front, but on the bulk front. Okay. So with that, we should have burps coming up in a minute or two, but it is just about 2 o'clock. Oh, this module was written about the same time PC centaurs became a thing? Shrinking spells? Oh no. Bram does not like that. Just instinctively in my head, he was like, oh no. I mean, it would be entertaining, and it definitely feels like something Glint will try at some point. Oh no. Just pocket centaur. Or like a halfling-sized centaur. Oh dear. I have so many concerns, you guys. This is gonna be fine. Everything will be fine. Let's see. I don't actually know. Still small, but still with a 10-foot spear. Oh no. Oh dear. I would hope it would be temporary. Bram hopes it would be temporary. Oh! Yeah, just a micro horse with a human stuck on top. Oh dear. Oh, I have so many concerns. I'm gonna have to tell Kara about this, and I hate it, because it's absolutely something Glint's going to do. Oh dear. Well, it'll be fine on that note. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for following, subscribing. Thank you to everyone who chatted and hung out with me. I very much appreciate it. I see there is no Julie today. I really hope she starts feeling better. That frickin' sucks. Oh no. What's that do, small Bram? Oh no. So I'll send you toward Dash Ducks. It's daylight, they're out and about. We can go quack at things. Yeah, so I will be back here hopefully Tuesday night, provided Rogers holds strong for us. Yeah, probably hamsters. We'll see if we can finish up the Hamtaro game on Tuesday. But yeah, everyone have a really good day and a good weekend, and I'll see y'all in the future.